welcome back to the next installment of the build series. So what I want to do with this computer is I want to bench build it and bench test it. And there's a reason for doing that, because I want to make sure all the components are working properly before I install it into the case that I have, which makes it easier. Because sometimes if you build it and you don't bench test it, one of your sticks of RAM may be dead or it may not be fully seated. And if you have your CPU cooler installed, that means you're going to take it all apart. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do a basic bench build first. So in this quick video, I'm going to show how to install a graphics card. And in here is the static wrapped GTX 1080 Ti. Some argue the GOAT of graphics cards, but once again, I've already discharged my static electricity, so take it here out of the bag to cooperate. And just always give your components a quick inspection to make sure there's nothing obviously wrong with it. So there you go. So let's see if we can get these both in the same shot. As we talked about in the other video, you've got your PCIe slots. Now you need to check with your instructions or in your motherboard manual. Some of them have different X ratings or by ratings is what they call it, like PCIe 3 or 4 by 8 by 16 or 4 or whatever. So I looked on my spec sheet, and I believe here is the 16, and that's the one where you're going to get 16 lanes of PCI bandwidth. So I want to install it on that slot. So looking at the instructions, this is PCIe 2 by 1. This is by PCI 3 by 16, 2 by 1. PCI 3 by 16 and PCI 3 by 4. So for this build, I'm going to put it in here, and it's pretty easy, similar to how we did the memory. These expansion cards or graphics cards have a keyed system that are keyed to the slot. As you can see, there's a little gap right there, or there's a little. So that's where you have to ensure that you put the card into. And like similar to how you have the clips here, you have a clip right here that is also a retention clip. And this clip is going to clip into this little hook right here. And it's really easy to install. Make sure you have your clip back. And then all you have to do is make sure that it's aligned, nice and aligned with the, and then just gently put it down. You'll hear a clip, click, and there you go. You have a nicely installed graphics card. Not too difficult, not too hard. It's pretty easy to do. So, yeah. Next up, I'll wind up attaching all the power supply cables and wiring it up so we can get power to it and do a bench test. Okay, so this is a continuation of the build log. So I want to do a quick overview of a power supply, because that'll be the next thing we'll be doing with the computer. So here's just a basic Corsair 750, and you'll need to do a rough calculation of what all your components will do for power draw at the max capacity, and you'll need to look at your CPU usage, your RAM usage, your GPU or graphics, your graphics card unit. So you'll need to add those together, and you can also go online and see what they recommend, and they have calculators, so you have to do your homework on that because your components will vary. But for my system, when I built it, a 750 was sufficient. So, but nowadays think you're so power hungry, you probably need like 1,000-watt supply or something. But anyhow, so yeah, on this side here, you've got your power switch, and you can see this grating for cooling, and you got your 120 or 240, depending on where you're from, but 120 here in America, power cord inlet. And on this side, this is what they call a modular power supply. Older power supplies and some power supplies the wires are hardwired into the unit. But with this one, the wires that come with the kit, you can plug them in as needed. And so, as you can see here, you have your 24-pin ATX, which that powers the motherboard, and then your peripheral and SATA powers those. Your basically your graphics cards and whatnot. So you have your PCIe for your graphics cards and the power for the CPU. And so you'll basically plug these in to, I'll show you some of the cables here. Now here's a cable. That's your 24-pin cable. This will go into the power supply, and this will go into your motherboard. And then here's some other PCIe. This will go to your GPU. So, and they give you in the kit, they give you plenty of different cables to use for your modular build. And then you have, some old computers have an old style Molex, so you have an adapter for that. Yeah, like that right there. And of course, it depends on your system, what you're building nowadays. So yeah, it's a real simple overview of power supplies and power cords. So yeah, pretty cool. Modular power supply from Corsair. And I will see you in the next build when we actually start hooking up the power to the motherboard. Okay, so here we go for the next part of the build log. So in the last video we talked about the basic power supply and the cables that you'll use, and how this particular system has a modular design to it. So really quickly, what you'll be plugging in on the motherboard, really simple for the bench test, is the graphics card will have, right here you can see the power plugs for it, and it's idiot proof. They've got them keyed so you can't put them in the wrong way. And then here on the motherboard you've got your 24-pin and your CPU inputs, and of course those two are idiot proof, so you can't put those in the wrong way. And so what I'll do first is install the cables onto the motherboard. As you can see, the cables have a little retaining clip right here, and again it's idiot proof, so you can't put it in the wrong way. And there's a little notch on the side of the, you can hear my finger catching, to make sure you put it in the right way. And you don't need to force it. Don't ever force anything. So just go ahead and line it up. See how smooth it went in, and then click. There you go. Okay. And that made it even more idiot proof because on here it has CPU stamped on it. So, and here's your CPU header. So again, you've got your little retention clip, CPU header. And all you got to do is just nice and gentle, clip, click. There you go. So there you go. You've got your CPU and your 24-pin header. This powers the motherboard, basically, and this powers the CPU. Alright, so next is the fun part, and that's putting this together. Now, some kits come with ones that have all four together, but this one has, you know, because it's modular and you can do old cards with it. So you have to basically put it in together like that, and it's got a little catch here. It's hard to see, but this can always be fun. So I'm going to do my best and hopefully not take too long in doing this. So, okay. And again, you don't want to force anything. Let's see here. Okay. Yep, nice click. And then if I can get this to catch. This is always a fun one. And then oh, that went pretty well. So there you go. That one's clicked into place for the graphics card. So, okay, we'll go ahead and put that there. And then we'll look here at the modular power supply. Okay, so you have your 24 pin and your CPU and your GPU. And here's your 24 unit. And it just, don't force it. Nice click. Nice click. There you go. And then your CPU right here. Put that in there. Nice click. And then the power for the graphics card. Just click. That's pretty much how you hook up a your motherboard or your power supply.